Hello, hello. This is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers, and this is Greater Wealth Through Mastery. This is all about how to reprogram your brain in exactly the right way so that you get exactly what you want. You can manifest from the ether. You can directly frontal assault, attack, and get what you want. Or something in between. But what it comes down to for you right here, right now, today, is reprogramming your brain, which really comes down to reprogramming your consciousness, your thinking, your way of addressing the world from the inside. And then it applies to what's happening in the outside world, right? So what we're thinking has an impact, a real world impact on the outside world. And you know that deep. So I'm going to give you 8 quick lessons. We're going to go through this fast and furious. I encourage you to watch this video again. I already know that because I'm going to blitz through this special content for you. Now, number 1 is mindfulness and present moment awareness. There's the expression, be here now. What that comes down to is focus on life as it is right here. How might you do that? Focus on your breathing. And it can be as simple as one breath. It can be just one breath. Just one breath can change your life. Reflection, pausing, being present in the moment, and being aware of every second that goes by, every day that goes by, every month, every year, reflecting on it with one deep breath. Take in the all in a single breath. Mindfulness and present moment awareness. That's number 1. Number 2 is deep meditation, spending more time focusing over a longer period of time, minutes, perhaps even hours, and expand your consciousness. Now, meditation is absolutely going to help you feel calm because you can't work physically on something, so it has to be only mental. So your body, if nothing else, when you meditate right, should become relatively still, other than your in and out rhythmic breathing. You might do some chanting or use some sounds. By God, go ahead and do that if you wish. You don't need to, but it can augment your approach and your system. There are lots of ways to meditate effectively. The Rhodes Brothers channel covers many different ways to be mindful in the proper way and even to meditate on the appropriate things depending on your situation. Again, deep meditation, consciousness expanding, and you can be connected to just about everything at once. Or you can connect to just one thing at once. Choice is yours. Could be something in between. Could be the all, everything about you, or it could be one single, absolutely singular thing, the one. So it can be the all or it can be the one. Your focus on any of those is going to be working. Your body will be still, your mind will not. Even though you're meditating and trying to chill, you will focus whether you like it or not, because you're reprogramming your brain. Number 3 is self inquiry, and that means ask questions about yourself. Deconstruct your ego. You can ask, hey, who am I? What am I? Where am I? You can ask these questions and just dwell, meditate on those things. Think through that. Think through it logically, but also feel it. In other words, feel the energy around your body. The energy field, the aura, call it what you want. It really does not matter. What matters is that you're going after what your ego is, who you are, how you think, where you are in time and space, and you can spend time on that. And very importantly, as you're doing this, as you're deconstructing your ego and understanding what your ego is, as you sort of blissfully, connect with whatever it is you're focusing on, you've got feelings and you've got emotions. And don't reject them. Look at them, understand them, take a visual of that, right? Feel the moment, feel the actual emotion when you're doing that deconstruction of the ego. Number 4 is conscious breathing. So deliberate breathing over some period of time. Now, you might be meditating and you might not. Typically, you're going to do your breathing when you're meditating, but even if you're not perfectly fine, you can just improve your breathing, right? You can just breathe in, breathe out. If you're tense, you're nervous, right? You're wigged out, blah, right? Things are just going blah, 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 blah. If that's happening, perfectly reasonable, not a problem. What you can do is just focus on your breathing, or not even focus on your breathing, just do the breathing, and the mind will follow the body. In other words, if you do breathing the right way, even in like a wow chaos moment, your body will start to relax and get rhythmic and calm down as well. So it doesn't need to be woo woo connecting with the universe or anything like that at all. It could simply be okay, relax. Because when you take a deep breath, it physiologically changes you, and therefore it physiologically changes your brain. Therefore, it physiologically changes your mind. You go from a deep breath to calming your mind as just one example. Number 5, visualization and manifestation techniques. So you can reprogram your brain by picturing yourself maybe as a beam of light, maybe as the center of the energy field. You can just think of yourself as the person people are looking to. You might put yourself on stage and run through scenarios. You might be kind of imagining telling a story. You might imagine telling a story to other people about your origin story, where you came from, how you got to where you are. Lots of ways to visualize, lots of ways to manifest by way of story. That's how I kind of think about it. And you can definitely feel more connected to whatever it is you want to connect to. Number 6, physical practices that are actually mental practices, but we'll call them physical. So it might be yoga, might be Tai Chi, Qigong. So you might do one of these practices, and as a result, you're going to be moving your body in a certain rhythmic way that models success or models a way of being or puts you in a particular kind of state or position that's very comfortable or very uncomfortable, or you might go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth between, calm, calm, tension, tension, calm, tension, calm, 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 tension, tension, tension. So you can keep going back and forth, playing that game. And what that will do is it will get the sort of the vibrations and the energy that you want to sync up with where you are at. And you can do that physically, of course. And this is something that when you burn the energy, when you spend the time and the focus with the body, again, the mind will follow, and this will help reprogram your brain to understand the ebbs and flows of life, the ups and downs, this is painful, this is very pleasurable. You're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this is very, very powerful. That's exactly why the physical practices work so well for so many people, including you. Number 7 is this is advanced, just to let you know, is a non-dual awareness. And what that comes down to is you work very hard. You actually work. You put in energy. You invest the energy into seeing how everything is interconnected. But more important than that, because many people talk about, ooh, we're all connected, we're all related. It's like the Kevin Bacon game, 6 degrees separation. Like we're just separated. We're just barely, this and that and connected. Wrong. That is, while true, not the whole truth. The whole truth is that we are truly all one. Not just we, though. Everything is one. Everything is everything. Now, that sounds kind of bizarro, but we are part of everything, and everything is part of us as well. And once you realize that we're moving from ourselves to being interconnected, there is a next step, and that's that we are all. There should be a non-dual awareness. So it's not me and someone else, me and others, or even me and the universe. Instead, it's us. It's we. It's oneness. This is very advanced. It's very difficult to do if you haven't reprogrammed your brain and you're not accepting of that in other ways. It doesn't mean that we don't have separate ideas or separate consciousnesses. It doesn't mean that at all. There's nothing that's like totally like, oh, it's all one thing. That's true at a certain level. At other levels, of course, you're distinct and unique. Yes, you are a snowflake. You're your own unique being with your own unique consciousness. But ultimately, we are all one. And when you dwell on that non-dual awareness, mystical, wonderful things can happen to you in terms of, hey, does this matter or not? Does that impact me or not? Is there karma here or not? Will I pay for that or not? Will I be able to take out debt on that or not? Can I give to that or not? And all these decisions that you make about me versus, they go away because it's no longer you versus or against. You're thinking to yourself, oh, what can I do to improve the consciousness of everyone, of all things, of everything, all the energy? How can I increase the positive energy for me? Because if I increase the positive energy for me, that is positive energy for everything and everyone. This is really where things like charisma come from. Like, why is that person charisma? There are hacks and tricks and techniques, certainly, and ways of being to model to be more charismatic. But literally, if you sense and operate with non duality and oneness, you will be the one who creates greater, higher levels of positive vibrations. You'll be moving in the right direction. You won't expect karma. You'll just know that there is karma. You don't expect it. See, many people screw up with karma and they try to push value into the world, and then they have expectations. They expect something to come back, but it might not come back how they expect. But if you think of things like, how can I put value into the world? You will get that value back. It's a matter of when, where, and how. You just don't know when and where and how it's going to happen, or who will give it to you, or how it manifests. It's sort of irrelevant. You're trying to create value, put it into the world, because when you do that, you know it's for the benefit of everyone and everything, of all. That's the beauty of this. Like I said, it's more advanced. You probably have to listen to this again because there's so much packed in here that we don't have time to go through right now. If you'd like me to go into more with that, down in the comments below, by all means, let me know exactly what you'd like to go after. Of course, the Road Splitters channel has plenty to take a look at, but we're not done. Number 7, and this is for a very rare few number of people, is that you may wish to explore psychedelics. There are certain ways of achieving other levels of consciousness and understanding how to reprogram, or even directly reprogramming your mind, your brain. You'll probably want to work with a Sherpa, a guide, a mentor to help you do that the right way. There are guided experiences you can go through. It may be temporary. It could be something that is a little bit more permanent depending on what kind of breakthroughs that you have. But again, do not take this one lightly. Psychedelics can be a very, very dark trail. On the other hand, there are opportunities in the psychedelic space that you may wish to explore. Not an endorsement, just something that I want to put out there because it is a way to reprogram your mind, as long as you do it the right way, with the right people, the right circumstances, and so forth and so on. Be stable, be kind to yourself, be prepared. Number 8, connecting with other consciousness, right? And so what that really comes down to is not trying to reach out to the universe, although that can work, I suppose. What I want to say, though, is you want to find people who understand consciousness, at least for themselves, really well. And what I'm talking about are masters and mentors, consciousness teachers, not just guys that are blathering away on the internet, but instead true mentors, true guides of consciousness. You can learn from people who have been there and done that. You may or may not need to pay them. You may or may not need to break into their network in sort of unique, sort of bizarre ways. But there are people out there that are loving and happy and wonderful, and they're very good at directing you. It can be something from a distance. It can be something really from afar, right? Or it can be really up close and personal. There are people that have, these retreats. There are locations that are set up to specifically connect with higher consciousness teachers and mentors, and of course communities as well. Learn from others is what this comes down to, but just make sure you are learning from the right people, not just some dude on the internet. Okay, and take everything that I just said with a grain of salt. Make sure that you don't read into things too much. Make sure it's right for you. Make sure they, this, them, all of the above, the materials, the ideas, the concept, the approach, the system, the process, whatever it is that you think that I was talking about, verify for yourself. Test it out ahead of time. Read about it. Dig through more material. When in doubt, pause, step back before you reprogram your brain. Make sure you know what the reprogramming is really literally for. Like, why am I trying to reprogram my mind? What am I trying to achieve? If you're just looking for more money, you might not want to reprogram your brain directly or reprogram your consciousness. Instead, it might just be, hey, all I need to do is have the right business technique. I might need to use AI exactly the right way. In fact, down in the description below, you'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. Practical tools and tips and mechanisms that you can just apply directly. Reprogramming your brain, entirely different beast, different animal. You've got to make sure that you know what you're going after and why you're going after it before you embark on the journey of self-discovery and really reprogramming your brain, your mind, your consciousness. It is a big deal. Again, don't take it lightly. Does this resonate with you? If it does, do me a very big favor here and subscribe to the Rhodes Brothers channel. It also doesn't hurt if you hit the subscribe button. And of course, if this is of value in such a way that you think other people or another person in particular that you can visualize right now, please pass it along to that person. And the reason is this, because like-minded people just like you have shared this message. What happens is our community grows, we can grow together. We are all one, and we all grow if you are part of it and if you share it with other like-minded people. That being said, this is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers. On behalf of my brother Matt and I, we look forward to seeing you in that next video, which you should see now on the screen. If not, you can find it on the Rhodes Brothers channel. All right, that's it. Take care. See you in the next training.